Have you ever noticed that some people around you seem to drain all your energy, leaving you exhausted and without the strength to move forward? What if I told you that heaven itself is sending you clear signals, Libra, to distance yourself from those who are blocking the light you came to deliver in this world? Pay close attention because in this video I will reveal the 12 spiritual warnings that God is placing before your eyes right now. Signs that you may have ignored until now but that are fundamental to your life's mission. You were born under the sign of Libra, carrying within your essence the search for balance, harmony, justice, and peace. But there is something that few Librans fully understand. This peaceful and conciliatory nature of yours often attracts people who don't want your good, people who take advantage of your kindness, your generosity, your infinite capacity to forgive and start over. These people are like energetic parasites that feed on your light, your joy, your faith. And when you allow them to remain in your life, you're not just wasting energy, you're blocking the blessings that the universe has prepared especially for you. What's at stake here is no small thing. We're talking about your physical and emotional health, your financial prosperity, your true relationships, your connection with the divine, and especially your spiritual mission on this earth. If you don't learn to identify and distance yourself from these toxic presences now, you could spend years, perhaps decades, living far below your true potential. But rest assured, because by the end of this video you will know exactly who needs to leave your life, and how to do it with wisdom, firmness, and self-love. There's a secret I need to tell you right away. The warnings have already begun to appear, and if you're here watching this now, it's because your guardian angel brought you to this message. Nothing happens by chance. Warning 1, you feel extremely tired after being with certain people. The first spiritual warning God is sending you has to do with your physical body, with a feeling of exhaustion that takes over after spending time with certain people. Pay attention, my dear Libra, because your body never fails. It is the sacred temple where your soul resides, and it possesses an ancestral wisdom that your rational mind has often failed to grasp. When you are in the presence of someone who blocks your light, who drains your vital energy, your body reacts immediately. You may feel a weight on your back, a headache that arises out of nowhere, a tightness in your chest, discomfort in your stomach, or simply that deep tiredness that no amount of sleep seems to cure. These are not random reactions or meaningless coincidences. They are direct messages from the spiritual plane through your physical body, alerting you to the energetic danger you are in. Libra, you who have such a social nature, who love to be surrounded by people, who feel complete when you are in harmony with others, need to understand a fundamental truth. Not all company is worthwhile. There are people who come into your life disguised as friends, partners, beloved family members, but who are actually only there to feed off your luminous energy. They are envious people who can't stand to see you shine. They are selfish people who only appear when they need something. They are negative people who constantly complain, criticize, and bring down all your dreams and achievements. And the worst part is that many times you don't consciously realize what's happening because your Libra nature makes you want to see the good in everyone, makes you give them another chance, another opportunity, another pardon. But while you are trying to maintain peace and harmony at all costs, these people are literally sucking your life force, blocking the flow of blessings that should be reaching you. So here's the clear and direct warning. Start today to observe how your body reacts in the presence of each person in your life. Do a conscious exercise over the next few days. When you are with someone, stop for a moment and feel what is happening inside you. Do you feel lighter or heavier? Happier or sadder? More energized or more tired? Is your breathing calm or agitated? Does your heart beat with joy or anguish? These bodily responses are the voice of God speaking to you through your own body. And if, after being with a certain person, you arrive home completely exhausted, with no desire to do anything, wanting only to lie down and disappear from the world, this is a huge red flag that this presence is blocking your light. Don't ignore this anymore. Heaven is warning you. Warning 2. Your dreams and intuitions show you the truth. The second spiritual warning that the divine is placing in your path comes through your dreams and your intuition. Libra, you need to understand that while your conscious mind can be deceived by pretty words, empty promises, and emotional manipulation, your soul is never deceived. It knows exactly who is who in your life. It sees beyond masks, beyond appearances, beyond well-told lies. And how does your soul communicate with you? Through dreams and that inner voice we call intuition. How many times have you had that strange feeling about someone but decided to ignore it because the person seems so nice, so friendly, so dear? How many times have you had a disturbing dream involving a certain person but woke up and convinced yourself that it was just a meaningless nightmare? My dear Libra, the time has come for you to stop devaluing these precious warnings that the spiritual world is sending you every night. When you sleep, your rational mind rests and your spiritual consciousness is free to perceive truths that remain hidden during the day. That's why you often dream about situations that reveal the true face of the people around you. It could be a dream where someone betrays you, abandons you, speaks ill of you behind your back, or tries to harm you in some way. It could be a dream where you feel fear, anguish, or discomfort in the presence of a specific person. It could even be a dream where you are trying to escape, protect yourself, or distance yourself from a certain person. All these dreams are not just products of your imagination working at night. They are coded messages from the spiritual plane showing you what you need to see but refuse to accept during the day. And intuition works the same way. It's that pang in your heart when you see a message from someone on your cell phone. It's that inexplicable urge to cancel a scheduled meeting. It's that discomfort you feel when a certain person starts talking. It's that inner certainty that something is not right, even if externally everything seems perfect. Libra, you who sometimes doubt yourself so much, who ask everyone for their opinion before making a decision, need to learn to trust more in this inner wisdom. God speaks to you through your intuition. Your guardian angels communicate through your dreams. When you ignore these warnings, you are closing the door to divine guidance and becoming vulnerable to people who will completely block your light. From now on, every time you have a striking dream or a strong premonition about someone, write it down, reflect on it, meditate on it. Ask in prayer for heaven to clearly show you whether that person should stay or leave your life. And have the courage to act according to the answers you receive. If this message resonated with your zodiac sign, trust me, it's no coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal, and you're here because you needed to hear this today. Your contribution as a subscriber or member is what keeps these messages alive, messages that touch, awaken, and transform lives. And if this video made sense to you, leave your birth date in the comments. Now let's continue with our video. Warning 3. Your prayers seem to go unanswered. The third spiritual warning that God is placing before you has to do with your prayer life, with your connection to the sacred. Libra, have you ever noticed that there are periods in your life when it seems that your prayers rise but go nowhere? You ask, plead, beg for an answer, for a solution, for a miracle, but heaven seems to be completely silent. You light candles, make promises, participate in prayer chains, but nothing changes in your reality. And do you know what happens then? You begin to question your faith. You begin to think that perhaps you are not worthy of divine blessings. You begin to believe that God has abandoned you, or that you have done something terribly wrong to deserve all this silence. But let me tell you a truth that will completely change your perspective on this situation. Most of the time when your prayers seem to go unanswered, the problem is not in heaven, it's here on earth. It's in the people you allow to remain by your side. There are presences in your life that act as spiritual blockers. These are people who carry such dense, negative energies, so full of envy, resentment, malice, and falsehood, that they create real barriers between you and the higher spiritual plane. It's like a heavy, dark curtain preventing divine light from reaching you. As long as these people occupy space in your life, share your home, participate in your important moments, and influence your decisions, the blessings that should be flowing freely to you remain trapped, blocked, and prevented from manifesting. Think about it. Have you noticed that some of your greatest achievements, your most beautiful victories, your moments of greatest spiritual connection happen precisely when you were alone or when certain people weren't around? This is not a coincidence. When you distance yourself from toxic presences, even temporarily, you open space for divine energy to flow into your life again. Spiritual doors unlock. Paths clear. Answers begin to arrive. Miracles start happening again. So pay attention to this warning. If you have prayed, fasted, performed all kinds of spiritual rituals but still feel there is a wall between you and God, it's time to look around and identify who is acting as that blocker in your life. Could be that friend who only says negative things. It could be that family member who constantly criticizes your choices. It could be that romantic partner who diminishes your dreams. It could be that coworker who spreads gossip and discord. It could even be someone who appears very religious, but actually uses spirituality as a tool for control and manipulation. These people need to leave your life so that you can once again feel God's loving presence surrounding you. guiding you, and abundantly blessing you. And when that happens, you will be surprised at how quickly things will begin to resolve themselves in your life. Warning 4. You're always solving other people's problems. The fourth spiritual warning that heaven is sending you concerns the role you have been playing in the lives of those around you. Libra, by your balanced and fair nature, you often take on the role of mediator, advisor, savior. You are the person everyone seeks out when they have a problem. You are the one who listens to endless complaints. You are the one who lends money that never comes back. You are the one who puts everything aside to help someone in trouble. You are the one who loses sleep trying to find solutions to other people's crises. And deep down you believe you are doing the right thing, that you are being a good friend, a good son, a good partner. You believe that this is your mission, to help others find the balance you value so much. But let me ask you some very direct questions that will affect you. When was the last time someone genuinely cared about your problems? When was the last time you could vent without being interrupted or judged? When was the last time someone put aside their own commitments to help you when you needed it? When was the last time you received back even a small part of everything you give? If you're having trouble answering these questions, here's your warning. You are surrounded by people who only approach you when they need something. They are selfish people who have turned you into a tool of convenience. They don't truly love you. They don't care about your well-being. They don't celebrate your victories or cry over your losses. They simply use you until you are completely exhausted and then disappear until the next time they need something more. And while you are spending all your vital energy trying to solve these people's problems, your own dreams are forgotten at the bottom of a drawer. Your own needs are ignored. Your own happiness is indefinitely postponed. You become increasingly empty, more tired, more frustrated, more distant from who you really are and what you came to do in this world. This type of relationship is deeply unbalanced, and you know better than anyone that imbalance breeds suffering. It's time for you to understand a liberating truth. You are not responsible for saving anyone. Each soul has its own journey, its own challenges, its own lessons to learn. When you try to carry the weight of other people's problems on your shoulders, you are not helping them grow. You are preventing them from developing their own strength, their own wisdom, their own connection with the divine. And at the same time, you are blocking your own light because you are using all your energy in battles that are not yours. God is warning you now. Set boundaries. Learn to say no. Let each person take responsibility for their own life. And observe the miracle that will happen when you finally direct all that wonderful energy you have towards your own projects, your own dreams, your own spiritual mission. Warning 5. The doors to prosperity do not open. The fifth spiritual warning being placed in your path is directly related to your financial and material life. Libra, have you noticed how some people seem to attract money and opportunities easily while others work double shifts and never get anywhere? Have you ever wondered why sometimes you try so hard, do everything right, dedicate yourself body and soul, but the doors of prosperity simply don't open for you? You might be blaming the economy, the government, bad luck, cruel fate, or even thinking you weren't born with the gift of abundance. But the spiritual truth is very different from all that. Most of the time when prosperity doesn't flow in your life, it's because there are people around you acting as drains through which all your abundant energy escapes. These are envious people who can't stand to see you prosper. When you share an achievement, a victory, a new project, these people immediately cast thoughts of envy, jealousy, and a desire for your failure upon you. And these thoughts have real energetic power. They create invisible but extremely effective blockages that prevent material blessings from reaching you. They are also people who live in a mindset of scarcity, poverty, and lack, and who try to pull you into that same vibrational pattern. They constantly talk about how difficult everything is, how there's no way out, how the world is lost, how all rich people are corrupt, how money doesn't bring happiness. And when you, with your optimistic and balanced vision, try to talk about dreams, projects, possibilities, these people look at you with pity, with disbelief, and throw buckets of cold water on every idea you have. They don't necessarily do this out of conscious malice. Often, they are simply so trapped in their own limitations that they can't see beyond them, and try to keep you trapped with them. But the result is the same. Your light of prosperity is gradually extinguished. There are also those people who approach you just when you are beginning to prosper. Suddenly, distant relatives appear wanting to borrow money. Childhood friends appear with dubious business proposals. Acquaintances appear with sad stories and requests for financial help. And you, with your generous heart and your desire to keep everyone happy and in harmony, Help, lend, invest, donate. But these people never repay you, never do their part, always have a new excuse. And meanwhile, you work harder and harder, even earning a little more, but never truly prospering because everything slips through your fingers. God is showing you now that you need to do a deep energetic cleansing of your relationships if you want to make room for true prosperity to enter your life. This doesn't mean you'll become a selfish or stingy person. It means you'll learn to discern between those who truly need help and those who are just using you. It means you'll protect your energy of abundance from people who want to block it. It means you'll surround yourself with people who also vibrate prosperity, who celebrate your achievements, who inspire you to grow even more. When you make this change, you will witness doors opening as if by magic, opportunities appearing from unexpected places, and money flowing easily and naturally. Because finally, your light will be able to shine without obstacles. Warning 6. You feel like you're living someone else's life. The sixth spiritual warning the universe is placing before you is one of the most subtle, yet also one of the most devastating. Libra, pause for a moment and answer with all the sincerity of your heart. Are you living the life you truly want? Or are you living the life others expect of you? Are you following your own dreams? Or are you trying to fulfill the expectations of others? Are you being true to your essence? Or are you wearing a mask to please those around you? This is an extremely important question for you, who has this natural gift of seeing all sides of a situation, of understanding different points of view, of always seeking harmony in relationships. But do you know the danger of this? You end up molding yourself so much to fit the expectations of others, to avoid disappointing anyone, to avoid creating conflicts, that you completely lose touch with who you really are. You choose a profession that pleases your family, but doesn't make your heart sing. You remain in a relationship that has been dead for years simply because everyone thinks you are the perfect couple. You hide your true interests, your sincere opinions, your deepest desires because you're afraid of being judged, criticized, or rejected. And the saddest thing is that you often don't even realize you're doing it because this pattern is so ingrained in your personality that it's become automatic. But your spirit knows. Your soul feels it. And it sends you increasingly strong signals of this misalignment. You wake up in the morning with no motivation to live the day ahead. You look in the mirror and feel like you're seeing a stranger. You achieve things that should make you happy but feel nothing but emptiness. You have everything society says you need to be happy but still feel profoundly unhappy inside. These are the cries of your soul asking you to be yourself again. And when you look around trying to understand where all this unease comes from, you need to pay attention to who are the people who most influence your decisions. Who are those people you consult before making any important move in life? Who are those people whose approval you desperately seek? Who are those people who make you feel guilty when you dare to be different, think differently, want something different? These people, even if they don't have malicious intent, are completely blocking your light. They are keeping you trapped in a false version of yourself. And as long as you continue to give power to these external opinions, you will never be able to shine with the intensity that your soul came to shine in this world. God is warning you. Reclaim your individuality. Reconnect with your inner truth. Have the courage to be who you truly are, even if it means disappointing some people, even if it means losing relationships that only existed because you were playing a role. People who truly love you will accept and celebrate your authenticity. People who only like the manipulated version of you don't deserve to be in your life. It's time to make that separation. Warning 7. Your talents and gifts are being wasted. The seventh spiritual message reaching you now speaks of the unique and special gifts you brought into this life. Libra, you were born with marvelous talents. It could be the gift of communication, art, music, writing, organization, beauty, diplomacy, or strategic vision. Every Libra has divine gifts that should be used to illuminate the world, to bring more balance, more harmony, more beauty to the lives of many people. But what happens when you are surrounded by people who block your light? These gifts become buried, forgotten, wasted. You become so busy taking care of other people's problems, so consumed by the heavy energies of the toxic people around you, so emotionally exhausted, that there is no time, energy, or inspiration left for you to develop and share your talents. Think about how many creative projects you have started but never finished. Think about how many brilliant ideas you have had but never put into practice. Think about how many times you felt that inner calling to do something different, something bigger, something that truly matters, but ended up putting it off because you had to solve someone else's crisis. Think about how many times you wanted to invest in yourself, Take a course, buy equipment, dedicate time to improving your skills, but ended up spending that money and time on other people's needs. That's not generosity, my dear Libra. That's self-sabotage. That's you allowing others to steal from you the opportunity to fulfill your spiritual mission on this earth. Because each of us came here with unique gifts to offer. And when you don't develop and share your gifts, it's not just you who loses. The whole world becomes poorer, darker, more unbalanced. There are people waiting for your light. There are people that only you can reach with your specific message, with your particular talent, with your unique sensitivity. But these people will never find you if you continue to allow others to block your shine. So pay attention to this warning. Identify the people in your life who diminish your dreams. Who are those people who roll their eyes when you talk about your projects? Who are those people who always have a destructive criticism to make? Who are those people who say they are protecting you when in reality they are preventing you from soaring? These people need to be removed urgently. And in their place, you need to seek out people who believe in you, who inspire you, who celebrate every small progress you make, who encourage you to be greater and greater. People who see your light and want to help it shine even brighter. When you make this exchange, you will be surprised by the creative explosion that will happen in your life. Old projects will be resumed and completed. New talents will emerge. Incredible opportunities will appear for you to show your work to the world. And finally, you will feel that you are fulfilling the purpose for which you were born. Warning 8. You frequently get sick without medical explanation. The 8th spiritual warning that God is sending you is engraved on your own physical body. Libra. Have you noticed that you've been getting sick more often than usual? These might be minor but persistent illnesses. Constant headaches, stomach problems with no apparent cause, back pain that never fully improves, allergies that suddenly appear, colds and flu that constantly get you, that feeling of always being tired even when you sleep a lot. You've been to several doctors, had tests done, taken medication, but the symptoms keep returning or simply won't go away. Doctors look at your test results and say everything is fine, that they haven't found anything wrong, and you're left wondering what's happening. Let me explain something fundamental that conventional medicine often overlooks. Your physical body is profoundly affected by the emotional and spiritual energies around you. When you interact daily with toxic, envious, negative, manipulative people, your energy system suffers a constant attack. It's as if you're being bombarded by invisible arrows all the time. And your body, which is wise, tries to defend itself by creating barriers, muscle tension, inflammation. When this energetic aggression becomes chronic, when you don't distance yourself from these harmful presences, your body begins to truly get sick. The negative emotions you are forced to swallow to maintain peace turn into gastritis, ulcers, digestive problems. The constant tension of always being alert, always on the defensive, turns into muscle pain, spinal problems, contractures. The anguish of not being able to be yourself, of having to repress who you are, turns into respiratory problems, allergies. The weight of carrying the heavy energies of others turns into chronic fatigue, lack of vitality. So when your body gets sick without a clear medical explanation, it is screaming for you to pay attention to the energetic environment in which you are living. It is warning you that you urgently need to distance yourself from those who are harming you. And it's no use taking pill after pill, undergoing treatment after treatment, if you don't address the root cause of the problem, which are these toxic relationships. It's like trying to mop up ice while the tap is still running. You will continue to get sick, the symptoms will worsen, and over time they may develop into even more serious illnesses. Because the body has a limit. It endures, tries to warn you in increasingly intense ways. But if you continue to ignore the signs, eventually it will collapse. God doesn't want that for you. Your guardian angel doesn't want to see you suffering like this. That's why they are sending you this warning now. Take care of your sacred temple. Protect your health. Stay away from those who are literally making you sick. And it will be incredible when you finally take this step and realize how mysteriously all those symptoms begin to disappear. How you regain energy, vitality. How your body heals naturally when you remove toxic influences. This is not magic. It is simply the restoration of the natural balance that has always been available to you. Warning 9. You cannot meditate or find inner peace. The 9th spiritual warning being placed in your path has to do with your inner life, with your search for peace and spiritual connection. Libra, you who so value balance and harmony, must have already noticed how difficult it is sometimes to find peace within yourself. You try to meditate, but your mind won't stop chattering. You seek moments of silence, but anxiety takes over. You want to connect with the divine, but it seems there is an insurmountable wall between you and the sacred. You wonder if you are doing something wrong, if you don't have the gift of spirituality, if you were born without the capacity to reach higher states of consciousness. But the truth is completely different. Your difficulty in finding inner peace, in meditating, in connecting spiritually has nothing to do with your inability. It has everything to do with the energetic pollution you are absorbing from the people around you. When you live with people who live in low vibrational frequencies, with people who are always complaining, criticizing, judging, gossiping, you absorb all this dense energy. And this energy clings to your energy field like a layer of spiritual dirt. That's why when you try to meditate, instead of peace you find turmoil. Instead of silence you find mental noise. Instead of connection you find blockage. There's also something else happening here that's even more subtle. Certain people don't want you to connect with your spiritual power because when that happens you awaken, you see the truth, you develop discernment to identify who is who in your life. And many people who are using you, manipulating you, benefiting from your spiritual naivete, are afraid of that. So unconsciously or even consciously, they do everything to keep you disconnected. They interrupt you when you try to have your moment of reflection. They create dramas and emergencies precisely when you set aside time to care for your spirituality. They mock, criticize, or diminish your spiritual practices. They fill you with doubts and fears about the spiritual path. All of this acts as interference in your connection with the divine. The warning God is giving you now is very clear. Protect your sacred space. Defend your right to moments of peace, silence, and spiritual connection. And if there are people in your life who don't respect this, who insist on invading this space, who try to pull you into their density every time you try to elevate yourself, these people need to be kept at a distance. You don't need to fight, you don't need to over-explain, you don't need to justify yourself. Just create firm boundaries and keep these presences away from your sacred moments. And when you do this, when you truly commit to protecting your inner peace, you will discover a meditative capacity and a spiritual connection that you never imagined existed within you. Because it was always there, it was just blocked by external interferences. Warning 10. Synchronicities have stopped happening. The 10th spiritual message the universe is sending you has to do with those small everyday miracles we call synchronicities. Libra. Have you ever noticed how there are periods in life when everything seems to fit perfectly? You think of someone and that person calls you. You need information and it appears at exactly the right time. You have a question and a book, a video, a conversation brings the answer you needed. You need money and an unexpected opportunity appears. These are not random coincidences. They are signs that you are in alignment with the divine flow of life, that you are connected to the universal intelligence that organizes all things. But what happens when these synchronicities stop happening? When life becomes a sequence of efforts that lead nowhere? When everything seems to go wrong, delayed, complicated? When you feel like you're swimming against the current all the time? This is a clear sign that you are out of your natural alignment. And most of the time, what took you out of this alignment were the influences of the wrong people in your life. Because each person carries their own vibrational frequency. People who live in gratitude, faith, positivity, and true generosity carry high frequencies that naturally attract synchronicities and miracles. People who live in envy, resentment, negativity, and manipulation carry low frequencies that block the natural flow of blessings. And when you spend a lot of time near these low-frequency people, you are pulled into that vibration as well. It's like trying to tune into a radio station, but constantly experiencing interference from other stations. You can no longer clearly pick up the signals from the universe. The messages don't reach you. Opportunities pass you by. The paths become confusing and obscure. So if you realize that the magic has disappeared from your life, that synchronicities have stopped happening, that you no longer receive those comforting divine signs, it's not because heaven has abandoned you. It's because there are people blocking the transmission. Think about how many times you were in a good moment, a moment of peace, a creative or inspired moment, and suddenly someone arrived with heavy energy that completely destroyed that state. Think about how many times you were about to make an important decision, guided by your intuition, and someone appeared with opinions, criticisms, fears, and you ended up doubting yourself and missing the opportunity. These interruptions are not neutral. They have a very high spiritual cost. God is warning you that in order to return to living in synchronicity, to witness daily miracles again, to feel the divine hand guiding your every step, You need to radically cleanse your relationships. You need to surround yourself with people who raise your frequency, not people who pull you down. And when you do that, prepare to marvel at the speed with which magic returns to your life. Warning 11. You feel guilty for wanting to get away. The 11th spiritual warning reaching you now is perhaps the most treacherous of all because it touches on one of your greatest weaknesses: guilt. Libra, you are receiving all these signs from heaven showing you that you need to distance yourself from certain people. Your intuition is screaming. Your body is getting sick. Your dreams are warning you. All the evidence points in the same direction. But even so, you can't act because every time you think about setting boundaries, distancing yourself, breaking off toxic relationships, you are overcome by overwhelming guilt. You think you are being selfish. You worry about what others will say. You are afraid of hurting people. You feel responsible for other people's happiness. You imagine all the arguments these people will use to make you change your mind. You are abandoning your family, you have no heart, you have changed for the worse, you are being influenced by other people, you will regret it. And these thoughts completely paralyze you. Let me tell you a truth that will shake the very foundations of your conscience. This guilt you feel isn't really yours. It was planted in you from a very young age by manipulative people who realize that guilt is a powerful tool for control. Since childhood, you've been taught that you're responsible for other people's feelings, that you need to sacrifice yourself to keep everyone happy, that your needs always come last, that questioning or distancing yourself is synonymous with malice, ingratitude, selfishness. All of this was programmed into your mind to keep you imprisoned in relationships that drain your light. Because as long as you're trapped by guilt, you won't be able to break free. And these people can continue using you indefinitely. But the time has come for you to break this spell. The time has come for you to understand that taking care of yourself isn't selfishness. It's a sacred responsibility. You have a life to live, a mission to fulfill, a potential to realize. And you won't be able to do any of that if you continue to be devoured by people who only know how to take, never give. Furthermore, when you distance yourself from toxic relationships, you're not harming those people. Quite the opposite. You're giving them the opportunity to grow, to take responsibility for their own lives, to learn the lessons they need to learn. As long as you continue to serve as an emotional, financial, or energetic crutch, these people will never develop. So in the end, your distancing yourself may be the best thing that could happen for both you and them. God is warning you. Don't let guilt imprison you. Don't allow manipulators to use this feeling to keep you chained. You have every right to choose with whom you want to share your life, your energy, your time, your love. And when you finally make that decision and act accordingly, despite the guilt, you will discover that on the other side of that courage lies the sweetest freedom you have ever experienced. And curiously, the guilt will disappear almost instantly when you realize how your life begins to flourish in unimaginable ways. Warning 12. Your inner light is fading. The 12th and final spiritual warning that God is placing before your eyes is the most urgent and definitive of all. Libra, look deep inside yourself now and answer with complete honesty. Do you still feel that inner glow that characterizes you? Do you still have that natural joy, that enthusiasm for life, that hope for the future, that faith that everything will be all right? Or do you feel that something essential within you is slowly dying? You look in the mirror and barely recognize the person who is there. Your eyes have lost their sparkle. Your smile has become forced. Your laughter has become rare. You go through the days on autopilot, fulfilling obligations, solving problems, but without feeling that you are truly living. It's as if a part of you has already given up, has already surrendered, has already accepted that this mediocre, heavy, and dull life is all you can expect from now on. If you are at this point, my dear Libra, this is the most serious warning of all. Because when your inner light begins to fade, you are not just unhappy, you are in real spiritual danger. You are losing connection with your divine essence. You are forgetting who you truly are and why you came to this earth. And if you don't react now, if you don't take drastic and urgent action, you may spend the rest of this incarnation as a spiritual zombie, physically alive but dead inside. And what a terrible waste that would be. Look at how many blessings you would miss out on, how many joys you would miss out on, how many people you would miss out on blessing with your luminous presence. So if you have reached this point of almost total extinguishment, know that there is still time. It is still possible to rekindle that flame. But for that, you will need the courage to make radical changes. You will need to distance yourself from all the people who are draining your vital energy. All of them without exception. It doesn't matter if it's a close family member, a longtime friend, a romantic partner. If that person is blocking your light, they need to leave your life immediately. I know it sounds extreme. I know it sounds scary. But think about what's at stake here. It's your own soul. It's your divine mission. This is the only life you have in this body at this moment in this world. Are you really going to throw it all away because you're afraid of displeasing people who don't even truly care about you? People who only want to drain your light until there's nothing left? God is giving you this last chance to wake up, to react, to fight for your spiritual life. And when you make that decision, when you finally have the courage to do this deep cleansing, what will happen will be so beautiful, so miraculous, so transformative that you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. You will feel your vital energy returning in powerful waves. You will feel joy sprouting from your heart again. You will wake up in the morning wanting to live. You will look in the mirror and see your eyes shining again. You will truly laugh. You will dream again. You will create again. You will love again. You will be yourself again. And this time, surrounded only by people who want to see you shine ever brighter, you will reach heights you never imagined possible. This is the promise that heaven makes to you today. If this message resonated with your zodiac sign, trust me, it's no coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal, and you're here because you needed to hear this today. Your contribution as a subscriber or member is what keeps these messages alive, messages that touch, awaken, and transform lives. And if this video made sense to you, leave your birth date in the comments. Look, my dear Libra, we've reached the end of this video. But I sincerely hope this is just the beginning of a new phase in your life. A phase where you finally understand that protecting your light isn't selfishness. It's a spiritual necessity. Where you learn to say no without guilt. Where you establish healthy boundaries. Where you wisely choose who deserves to share your time, your energy, your love. Together, we've gone through 12 powerful spiritual warnings that heaven is sending you now. If you recognized at least half of these signs in your life, then you know exactly what you need to do. It's time to stop procrastinating, to stop turning a blind eye, to stop giving another chance to those who have already shown you 1,000 times that they don't deserve to be near you. I know it won't be easy. I know you'll face resistance, both internal and external. But I also know that you are much stronger than you imagine. And when you connect with that divine force that exists within you, when you remember who you truly are, a beloved child of God, bearer of a unique and irreplaceable light, you will find all the courage necessary to do what needs to be done. Always remember, the right people for you are those who celebrate your light, not those who try to extinguish it. The right people are those who uplift you, not those who pull you down. The right people are those who want to see you shine ever brighter, not those who feel threatened by your brilliance. And these right people exist, you can be sure. But they will only be able to reach you when you make space in your life, when you clear the ground of all the weeds that are suffocating your garden. So my challenge to you today is this. Choose just one person in your life who you know is blocking your light. Just one to start. And establish a clear boundary with that person. Could be reducing contact, it could be stopping doing something you've always done for her. It could simply be saying no the next time she asks you for something you don't want to give. Take that first small but significant step. And observe what happens to your energy, your vibration, your life. You will be surprised by the liberating power of a simple no, a simple boundary, a simple choice for yourself. And this first step will give you the courage for the next steps until you have completed the total energetic cleansing that needs to happen. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, click that red button now and activate the notification bell, because every day I bring powerful spiritual messages that can completely change the course of your life. And if this video touched your heart, if you felt it was exactly what you needed to hear today, consider becoming a channel member to support this work that is done with so much love and dedication. Your contribution makes all the difference and allows these messages to continue reaching people who need them. I believe in you, Libra. I believe in your ability to recover your light. And I'm here rooting for you, praying for you, sending all my positive energy so that you have the strength and courage to make the necessary changes. May God bless you abundantly. May your angels always protect you. And may your light shine again with all the intensity it was created to shine. A huge hug to your heart.